Okay, so I always start these by asking how many of my typing sessions you've seen before.
I think about 2 or 3, but I try not to, because usually I like to note things down, but I try not to do it because when you like do recording, when I watch the video, I would usually think about it myself and like what would I answer in that position, but I try not to do it and just listen to it passively.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And how long have you known about personality type slash cognitive functions?
How do I know about it, you say?
How long have you known about them?
How long have you known about it? So I think I've been exploring since around 2021, like during after COVID, I think.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Uh, have you gone out of town on a vacation recently?
Yes, I went to Manchester a few days ago.
Okay.
Mm.
Was it can you tell me about your favorite moment from that trip?
Food. I went with an objective because I want to go and collect a parcel from a family friend that I had to go. So yeah, I went there and I had to do the things I did, and then I went for food, and then I came back straight away.
And what did you have to eat?
It was a Chinese dish called malashangua, which is like Szechuan peppercorn stir fry dish. There is one in Leeds, but it's nicer over there, so I had that.
Okay. And when you're not traveling, do you usually eat at home or do you eat out a lot?
I eat at home a lot.
So do you do your own grocery shopping?
And I'd like to say yes, but not often. I share my groceries with my housemate, so my housemate does quite often does groceries.
Okay. When's the last time you've done the grocery shopping?
I think about a week ago. Yes.
Okay. Can you recount in painfully unnecessary detail that trip to the supermarket? For example, first I went to the soup aisle and I got a can of Campbell's soup. Then I went to the whatever aisle like that.
Right. So I usually go to grocery shop with like thinking, okay, I need protein, vegetables, and some sort of bakery because I enjoy them a lot. And the supermarket that I go to is there's a little near mine, and the place is like as soon as you go into the entrance, there's bakeries on the right, and then veg on the left. So I would go from the left, vegetables, get about like one or two, usually two vegetables that stay in the fridge, one vegetable that stays out of the fridge, and then I would go towards the protein, and then I would get like whether I'm feeling chicken, prawn, whatever protein I'm feeling, then I would pick a protein, and then I just walk around the aisle after that because I have what's necessary for me, and then I go for the course like pastries or desserts, then head back. Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Um, what do you think I concluded from that answer there?
probably that is a bit. What did you conclude from my answer? Um, I don't really know, but from my answers that I could analyze, I think it's probably that I go with an objective and then come back, or maybe I'm a bit too like random in what I want. Like, okay, protein.
No, no,
No,
I'm not evaluating that at all. Um,
what?
okay, so what I'm looking for here is indications of NI front stack or SI front stack.
Oh, right. Okay, okay.
Because and the way you answered this question, I asked you to recount the last time you went to the supermarket in detail, and instead you gave me a bunch of normally I would do this, normally I would do that, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't actually specific to the occasion, which is suggestive of NI rather than SI, but it's just suggestive, it's not definitive. Anyway, can you tell me about your sleeping habits?
Not too good these days. Yeah, I try to not sleep beyond midnight.
You
But
try to
yeah,
go to sleep before midnight.
before midnight. Yeah, yes, before
And
midnight.
how many hours do you think you need a night of sleep?
Um, because I'm currently not working, I wake up whenever, usually 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. But when I have work, I still wake up like on time, even if I sleep super late, like
Okay.
maybe 5, 6 hours. I don't know.
All right, so let's say you're not going to get a full night's sleep. Would you rather get as much sleep and then get up the last minute and get there at the last minute, or would you rather get less sleep and have more time to get ready?
I have a time when when I have things to do, I can't sleep beyond that time. Like for example, 2 hours for me to get ready and go to work. So no matter how much I've sleep, I would still wake up 2 hours before I have to leave, get to the work.
And how much of the time that 2 hours is commuting?
Um, when I walk, it's about 40 minutes. Um, but if I don't, then if I don't walk, then it's about 20 minutes.
Okay, so it takes you somewhere around an hour and a half to get ready.
Yeah, roughly about an hour, I'd say, because I eat breakfast as well.
Okay. So do you try to like shower the night before or something like that to make it easier in the morning?
Um, no.
Okay. All right. And what about your eating habits? Do you eat 3 square meals a day? Do you graze? Do you skip breakfast? Tell me about how you eat.
So, if it's me alone without eating, like sharing stuff with my housemate, I think my eating habit is very bland. Like I could eat the same day thing every day. Like for example, I would have like 3 chicken nuggets with rice or fish and chips with rice or anything with rice. I'm fulfilled.
Okay.
Mm,
You like rice, huh?
oh, very much. Yeah.
I like rice too. I make it periodically. Uh, the only problem with rice is cleaning up the pot is always a problem afterwards.
I I know the pain, but I found a new method to like freeze the rice. So I just portion them into like those slim plastic thing and put like 150 gram each, and then just freeze them. So my fridge is like stack of rice in there. But I don't need to do it for like
Really?
yeah, it's
So
nice.
you cook the rice and then you freeze it?
Yeah, and it kind of like lost your calorie dense or something like that as well. And I don't need to cook rice like quite often anymore. No more rice cooking, pot washing.
Like, do you put it in the microwave or something, or how do you defrost it?
Oh, how do I defrost it? Just take the plastic out and then like pop in the microwave for like 2 solid minutes, and it's like fresh as new.
Really?
Lasts for like ages, yeah.
Maybe I'll try that. That's an interesting idea. I'd never thought about that before. Um, okay. So do you have a clear plan like for the week? Like if you have to work, let's say, whereby you have like, okay, this is Monday's lunch in the freezer, this is Tuesday's lunch in the freezer, like that?
Unfortunately not, because I know for a fact I'm very content with just rice. I'm happy to sometimes if I know there's no groceries at home, I would just pop into like Tesco and grab like a cauliflower to make some stir fry or something like that. Like maybe vegetables sometimes protein. I don't have a strict thing to go with.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So can you break down into 5 steps the task um of sending a package to a friend in Canada?
Sending a package to a friend in Canada. Um, I've done it a couple times. So my main problem is finding the right box to put in, the right size to put in. Like it's a bugger. So I'd say find a container to do it and add this like to add the stuff in. Have your stuff ready and then pack it. I think it's gonna be more than that. And pack it, like proper tape it, then send to the parcel place, and then write it there, and then send it there.
Okay, that's good. Do you speak any languages other than English?
I speak, I think, so fluently about 3. I'm learning 2 more, so about 4 to 5, I think.
Is English your first language?
It's my 3rd language.
Okay. Because it's like it's interesting listening to you because you have what I clearly identify as an English accent, but you also sound like you have another accent in there.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
You kind of sound like Hong Kong English.
Hong Kong English, interesting. Yeah, I think I try to sound as Londoner sound as possible before I come to the UK, but now I think I sound Yorkshire because I lived here for 2 years now.
Mm, I see. Okay, cool. So you moved around a lot.
No, it's
Okay.
my first, like UK is the first country I've stayed outside of my home country.
And what's your home country?
I'm from Myanmar.
Oh, Myanmar.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like conflict and stuff going on there.
Well, I was planning to come visit America, but I got banned from one of the banned country list was from Burma, so I can't come anymore.
Oh, really?
Unfortunate, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to say about my country's government. It's
It's all right, it's everywhere.
it's a mess. Okay, so then you came when you were small?
Nope, 2 years ago. I moved here
Just
for
2 years ago. So you already spoke English before you came to the UK.
I started learning English because of an American friend back in 2017. So he's
That
taught me a lot of English.
you've only been speaking English since 2017.
Yeah.
Wow, you really are incredibly fluent for if you've not having spoken for
Thank
long,
you.
really. All right, cool. So what do you think we should do about the problem of plastics in the oceans?
Um, well, first things prevent it first. I think plastic is still a huge problem in Asia. I mean, I know that the West is putting a lot more effort into like biodegradable and things like that, but I think first is to really just stop down in less developing country where their main objective is to feed themselves, but educate them more about on like environmental nature and things like that. Because I think because I was in Malaysia last month, and there's a huge I can see a whole difference in like living way in both countries after living in the UK now.
Cool. Okay, so what do you think I concluded from the questions about plastics in the ocean and also breaking down the task of sending a parcel?
I don't really know, to be honest.
It means you're not TE polar. You're definitely not TE polar, so that eliminates a couple of types
Okay.
as possibilities. Can you tell me different possible reasons why somebody might join the submarine part of the Navy?
In case of war breakout, and then I mean, realistically, most people does it for money these days, but if you're like a proper proud citizen, then you would do it too for the country, kind of. I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to come up with a new invention, and I
Mm,
want you to come up with some names for it, okay?
okay.
We're going to try to sell this, so they got to try to come up with some snappy marketing names.
Mm,
And the invention it's a flashlight that produces smoke signals as well. So at nighttime you can signal with the light, but at daytime you can signal with smoke signals from your flashlight.
okay. So it's a product that you can flash at night for signals, and then in daytime it can signal through smoke. Is that correct?
With smoke signals, yeah.
Okay. Um, I'm thinking, by the way. Smoke alert.
It's a good one. Got any more?
Mm, no, I don't think I can think of any. Light buzz fire. Oh no, buzz light. Eh,
That's fine. Okay. So let me ask you some TI questions, then I'll go back to some more expert intuition questions. If some birds fly and all things that fly are airplanes, is it necessarily the case that some birds are airplanes?
no.
Yes, it is.
Why so?
Because if some birds fly and all things that fly are airplanes, then anything that's flying, including a bird, is an airplane.
Is a helicopter considered an airplane?
If all things that fly are airplanes, yeah.
Oh, but
So, like, how about this one? If all people from England like fish and chips, and I like fish and chips, am I necessarily from England?
no,
Okay. How about if only people from England like fish and chips, and I like fish and chips, am I necessarily from England?
no.
Yes, I am.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Let me ask you a couple genealogy questions. Can you tell me who my mother's husband is in relationship to me?
Mother's mother, husband, father? No,
Grandfather.
grandfather, yeah.
How about father's sister's son's sister in relationship to me?
Father, sister's son's sister. So father, sister, son's sister. Cousin?
Correct. Okay. Um, so how do you feel physically right now? Any aches and pains?
Nope. I'm a bit warm.
And how do you feel emotionally right now?
Kind of nervous, I'd say.
Okay. And how do you think I feel right now emotionally?
Unstimulated.
Unstimulated. Okay. What do you think you have generally more clarity about? Your own emotions or the emotions of others?
I think emotion of others.
Okay. And do you think your own emotions tell you more about what your boundaries are or more about what you you like a lot or find important?
I don't think I quite understand the question.
Well, for example, it's easier for me to know what I don't want to do than it is to know what I do want to do. And for some people, that's not the case. For some people, they find it equally easy to tell both, perhaps, or even they find it easier. Their emotions tell them more about what's important to them they have to protect than they do about what bothers them.
Right. Um, I think it's easier for me to tell what I want to do. I feel like there's a lot of things I want to do than I don't want to do. There's more things. So I fall into like, oh,
Right.
there's one thing I want to do. Yeah.
Talk to me about what some of these things are that you want to do.
what some things I want to do, like tonight or overall?
Overall in life, like, do you have a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan?
Um, I 5-year plan. In the next 5 years, I'd like to know where I stand in life and maybe find a career path I can probably tolerate and maybe overlap with something I enjoy.
Well, what do you mean by where do you stand in life?
Um, uh, for example, how do I answer that? How do I stand in life? Like, so am I a family-oriented person, or am I someone who want to chase career ladder, or if I want to be just living off grid on my own, things like that? Because I come from a very like less developed place where society is a completely different place to the UK, and at that time, I thought, right, I was like, oh, I want to be a mom someday. I was so into like, oh, the whole motherhood type of thing when I was about 18, 19, right? And then now I come here, I've lived alone, and then I've kind of opened my eyes a little bit, and I realized life is a lot more than that, and not just the way that I've seen before. So there's more things to choose now than I have seen in the past. So yeah, it's a bit confusing since I live alone now. It's kind of hard. Like, do I live like my family does, or do I live like the way I want to live? Like, do you know what I mean?
Sure. In Myanmar, do women mostly end up being like wives and mothers or something?
Um, I can't say on behalf of everyone, but my family, we're more Indian. So because of that, yeah, that's like my mom didn't have a career, so only men
And
work.
what's the other alternative than Indian in Myanmar?
Other, what do you mean by other
Well, you
alternative?
said your family is mostly more Indian than what?
Yeah. So Indians, like foreigners, are only like 3-4% of the population. So, and
Oh,
I'm mixed. Like my mom's an ethnic minority, and like ethnic minority and Indian. So I'm kind of an anomaly in that situation, if you know what I mean.
okay. Do they care a lot about that stuff over there?
Yes, very much. Like if you're like you like it's hard for me to even get my own ID in the country I was born in, just because I'm a mixed ethnic and stuff like that. Like,
Really?
yeah, so outdated.
That's crazy. Um, okay, so in the majority of Myanmar, then it's not necessarily women will are more just likely to work as be family oriented or what?
Um, I think younger people are starting to do both men and women working, but like I think from my parents or millennials per se, for them, yeah, I think only moms work. For example, like none of my cousins work, female cousins, only the males does. Like I wasn't given an opportunity to go study, but stuff like that. So it's a bit segregated still, very behind.
See, but you studied in the UK.
Yes, just 1 year. So I got lucky to get into uni in COVID because I went to a private school without a high school degree. And yeah, I got into uni and I did credit transfer to the UK and then came here.
Oh. So did you complete your university studies?
Yes, I did.
What did you study?
I did business degree.
And what made you choose that?
So in COVID, universities were closed. That was a year before military coup happened in Myanmar. So at that time, I went to private university, and in private universities, you have three options. You have computer science, engineering, and business. And because I only know English, and I was like, well, fair enough, I can give it a try and see how that goes. And then, yeah, went from there.
And so and then is your work based on your degree? Like you do business kinds of stuff?
At the moment, no. I'm unemployed. I graduated and then I worked in hospitality for a year and I quit my job like 2 months ago, just so I could travel and then kind of reset, upskill myself to find a path.
I see. Being unemployed is the best.
I wish.
I mean, for as long as you can afford it, it's fantastic, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm stressed right now, but I try to think like, okay, this is the most luxury that I'll probably have in my entire life, and I will never regain this back again. So I try to enjoy it every day.
Why do you think that? Because of the time off, you mean?
Yeah, like I'm overly stressed. As soon as I wake up, I'm like, oh, I need to apply for jobs, I need to do this and that. But then when you think about it, like I don't have any overhead costs, I don't have kids to feed, I don't have that much bills to pay. If I don't have money, I skip dinner. I don't know. It's not too much bills coming in yet. You know what I mean?
Right. And you don't trust your ability to sustain that state of being?
Sustain what? Sorry.
Sustain the low overhead, low cost state of being.
Uh, how do you call it? Like, because I'm not particularly an expensive person, right? I don't have expensive taste and things. As long as things function, I'm happy with them. But sometimes, especially here, right? I think even to hang out with friends, you need to think, at least if I go out from the house just to have a cup of coffee in town and come back, you're saying at least 15-20 pound, right? That's minimum cost. So yeah, it how do you call it? Chip away your savings, right? So yeah, I don't know. To be able to see more in life, I think you would need a bit more money. And yeah, that's why.
How important is it for you to go out and socialize?
Really bad. I feel like I could stay hermit in this place forever, and that's actually really sad. I have to like put an effort to like I need to go and touch grass and see friends and people.
Okay. And what's your relationship with procrastination like?
Depends. Documents give me anxiety, so I put it off until I have to do it. Studies, not so much. I quite enjoy studying, like in language per se or programming. I try to do it without a deadline. So, okay, to your questions. Depends on the task. I'd say I'm quite bad overall.
Okay. Um, okay. So, have you ever heard me ask the troll question?
Oh, sorry.
The troll question? We got a question. If you've heard me ask it before, I won't ask it, but if you've not heard it, I'll go ahead and tell you this.
Let me say troll question. It's a funny question.
It's a story question, okay? So in this question, I'm going to give you a scenario, and you're going to play the role of the mayor of this town and figure out what you're going to do about this situation, okay?
Mm.
So you're the mayor of a medieval town, and it's the Middle Ages, and your town is split in two by a river. On one half of the town, one half of the river, there's the merchants and the townspeople. On the other half of the river, there's the farms and the foods and stuff. Well, the one day the bridge washes out in a big flood, and now you have to take your food across the river in a boat. But a river troll comes and takes up residence in your river, and he every time a boatload of food crosses the river, he steals 10% of it. He says it's the troll tax. And unfortunately, you don't have enough food for everyone to live through the winter. If he takes 10% of it, 10% of your people will starve. So the people are saying to you, Mayor, solve this problem. What do you do?
Merchants must have money. So I would probably collaborate with them to invest in a bridge and or some.
You can't rebuild the bridge until spring because the weather is too bad.
How do people do that? Well, in Burma, people actually do travel through a boat on a daily basis, and it doesn't cost much. So boats are a thing.
I know, but unfortunately, the troll is in the river, and his magic power is he can steal 10% of any food crossing the river on a boat. And you can't afford to lose 10% of your food.
Can I get the merchants to move to the food place?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can move the people to the food.
Yeah, then I'll find probably not with the food, but I'll get the merchants with the boat to move to the food place.
And then
And
eat the food there.
yeah,
Yeah, that's fine. That's a perfectly good solution. To move the people to the food is a perfectly good solution. So, okay. Uh, let's say though, over time, the troll still stays in the river, and people get really tired of having to take a boat across the river 3 times a day to eat their meals. And they say, we need a more efficient solution than this.
well, merchants can get the money from the food, right? Like they sell people food there, so they could have.
The thing is, you've got the food stores on one side, right? You've got not just merchants, but all the townspeople in general who live there in the town. And they normally, you get the food brought over to the river, and then it gets sold by the farmers in the marketplace or whatever. But now, if they can't bring it across the river without losing 10% of it,
Can you negotiate with the toll?
you could, sure. You want to try to negotiate with the troll? I'm now the troll. And hello, Mayor. I'm here. I'm in the river, and I'm protecting you from river sharks and thereby taking my 10% of your food.
Would you possibly be able to reduce the toll fees for the sake of people and children?
No.
To
What I'm doing is I'm protecting your people and children from river sharks who would otherwise possibly be eating large amounts of your population, for all you know.
well, what do you need? What resources do you need to retain this position? What's your cost on it? Is there any way I can
Well,
pay you?
here's the way the troll economy works. Let me explain it to you. I take 10% of your food, I send it downriver to the troll exchange, and then they send me back up troll dollars, which then I spend on troll things. We have our own economy. You don't need to worry about that.
I don't think I have a solution. That's really bad. Um,
Have you considered trying to kill the troll?
no.
Why not?
Um, because he's just making a living for himself.
Well, he's stealing your food. Is that really making a living?
Um, and that's why I think having a bargain would work. So it's win for both of them. I mean, I'm like, I don't know how much authority I have as a mayor to with the tolls.
You're an absolute dictator.
um, well, if I'm a dictator, then yeah, like I could just give a thing. Then you could either have, you can even not have the toll over there because and just use.
Well, you're not a dictator over the troll, just over your town.
Oh. Hmm. Uh. Well, I'll tell them. I'll tell the people. I'll tell the farmers to sell it with like really low price, and sign 2 contracts, and one with like super cheap and one with super expensive one. And I'll show the toll that it's the cheaper one, so I have to pay less 10% of it, and I can get all
Now,
the.
you take 10% of the actual food.
But they wouldn't know though. It all matters on the paper, wouldn't it?
Well, no, because you only have enough food stores to feed the whole population for the winter. You don't have any, you can't grow more food until the spring comes,
Yeah.
and
So
you
for
have to have these existing food stores last the whole winter.
Yeah, so example, I'll tell, so let's say the real food costs of if with the farmers, there'll be like £100 worth of food. I'll tell the farmers, okay, well, I'll pay you I'll pay you £10. We will go through the gate and tell the toll people that we got it for £10, and then we'll get £100 from the merchants and give it back. I'll be the middleman, and because I'm a dictator, I have the authority to say and who sign and who pays and stuff, and that'll be fine.
Okay. So I don't know what type you are yet. There are a couple possibilities, but it couldn't be. I'm gonna give you a test here where I'm gonna give you a long sentence that has a lot of unnecessary details and redundancies in it, and I want you to give me the short nutshell version of it. Okay?
Okay, so you want me to give you a long sentence and then
No, I'm gonna give you a long sentence, lots of redundancies and extra details, and you give me the short version of it.
Okay, got it.
If you enjoy working outside and also using large machines that help people to ultimately get around, then perhaps you should work on the roads crew, where they take the pavement and they tear it up and they put down new asphalt on top of it, and the hot, steamy tar and black pavement comes out the back of the truck, and then they draw the line down the middle, and that way people have nice new roads to drive on, and you get to be part of that whole experience if you work on the roads crew.
Well, if you like to improve people's life in transportation, then join the road crew.
That's good. Excellent. Thank you. All right. So you're not an ESFJ, you're not an ESTJ, you're not an ISFJ, you're not an INFJ. I don't believe you're TI polar, which would eliminate ESFP and ENFP. Any polar is a possibility, but I'm not sure yet. Okay. Can you tell me about, do you have any creative outlets like drawing, painting, writing, singing, dancing?
I used to do it. I used to draw like patterns, and I write I write my thoughts, like journal, if that counts.
Okay. And are your thoughts like, today I went to Jody's house and we had some tea and crumpets in the English fashion? Or are they like, I worry about the world these days? Or are they like, gosh, I hope Jim likes me? Or what?
I say I think so. I think the last passage I wrote about was education. So it was like how what role does education play in people's life? Is it as mandatory as the system makes it to be, or is it to survive in the society these days, or is it just do you know, like, just expansion on like my thoughts on where education stands for individuals?
Mostly deprecated, people educate themselves with the internet.
I mean, these days, yeah, but like the first time I got access to the internet was 2014, so it's not too long ago.
You didn't have access to the internet before 2014?
No.
Oh my God. That's crazy. What did you do before 2014?
Nothing.
Just
Like,
read books?
we used to have like a local computer shop where I get to go and like install movies on my MP4 and then like watch it on repeat, or something like that. Or you buy like DVDs in the shop. Like I think they probably torrent, and they have like a storefront, like a DVD, and have a lot of cartoons that they were nice.
I see. Well, that's interesting. 2014 doesn't seem like very long ago. That's when I started my YouTube channel, actually. Or basically, when I started making a lot of I started making more videos. It was in 2014. But okay, so what about what kind of media do you consume now?
Like movies and music, is that what you mean?
Yeah, or like, do you watch mostly videos on YouTube that explain things, or like I watch videos on YouTube. I've been on this kick where I'm watching interviews of old war veterans. What kind of stuff do you watch?
Good question. Like maybe like language lectures, like someone repeating like Korean and English translation, and I would have them, and then I would just repeat after them.
That's very useful of you. You like developing new skills or what?
Yeah, that's how I learned English actually. Like I would just have someone play a YouTube channel and then I would just repeat after them while doing the dishes and stuff. And yeah.
Is there any other skills you like to develop besides languages?
Yes. I think I'm trying to figure out. So I think I can be technical. Oh, I think I also can be creative, but I just don't have the skills because I didn't have access to them when I was younger. So I'd like to develop maybe like a instrument ability and maybe learn to program and build machine learning and stuff like that. I don't know. Still figuring out, very early stages yet.
Okay. When you say instrument ability, you mean like a musical instrument?
Yeah, like piano maybe.
Okay. You didn't grow up playing a musical instrument at
No,
all? I didn't start playing guitar till I was 21.
right? Do you play now?
Yeah, I play. So it's not necessarily, I mean, you're probably older than you look, but it's not necessarily too late to start a musical instrument because you already graduated from college, right? Yeah. So, uh, okay. That's the most likely possibility. Um, okay, you feel like you understand other people's emotions better. Can you talk about how and to what extent you manage how other people are feeling around you?
How I manage.
Yeah, how and to what extent or if you manage how other people are feeling around you. Like let's say you go out and you notice that Jody's not having a very good time. Would you notice that, first of all? And if so, would you feel responsible to fix that?
Well, I would notice if the vibe is off, but I wouldn't necessarily feel responsible. I'll ask if they're having a good day, and if as soon as I sense that they're not having a good day, I'll just let them be and let them have a good day themselves. Because I'll just make it worse.
Okay. Um, and what's precious to you?
My parents.
Anything else?
I mean, I would say pets, but they died. Only one left. But yeah, parents, I think.
Is your pet that's left a dog or a cat?
It was a rabbit. Um, so, that, that one.
Oh, a
Yeah.
rabbit, huh?
Mm.
Uh, Do rabbits make good pets?
Yeah, he was a very cuddly boy.
I see. Did he live a long time, or is he still alive?
Mhm. I mean, I had him for 2 years, and then I moved to the UK, and he passed away like a year after. So
I
maybe two
see.
years, a solid 2 years together.
How long do rabbits not? How long do rabbits usually live?
Well, my other rabbit's living for about 5 years now, so she's thriving still. I think about 10, 11 years if treated right.
I see. Interesting. Okay, well, I think I know what type you are. I think you're an ISFP.
Very interesting. What made you think I would be so that would make me like FI.
Yeah. FI and NI are your two absolute values, front stack, conscious front stack values. SE and TE are your other conscious functions.
Interesting.
And the main reason I concluded this is because you don't test polar for anything other than extroverted intuition. Your answers I didn't ask a lot of extroverted intuition questions, but the questions about different reasons why somebody might do something, and the troll question as well as somewhat of a test of that, of extroverted intuition. The inventions question, you give very few answers to it, and it's very NI. NI third slot is what I see a lot in you.
Okay. Probably. Because I usually I think I don't have a strong FI. So FI is knowing what you want, right? Like, is it how would you describe FI in a simple way?
Yeah, it's knowing what's important to you and what's not important to you. FI is, most of all, it's making determinations on whether you should do something based on whether it's in your interests or not.
Based on whether in my interest or not. Okay. Interesting. Is it because I know exactly what I was like when you asked me like what's precious to me and stuff, and then I know exactly what I was saying?
I don't have great tests to determine whether somebody's like, I don't have great tests of FI per se, but that was an FI question. But the thing is, what seems very clear is that your TI backstack and TE and FI front stack, and your TI is weak enough that I would place it 8th, not say 5th or something. So I think that accordingly you have to be FI front stack.
Okay, that makes sense.
So we have about 15 minutes left if you have any questions or anything, or it's up to you.
If I have any questions, not that I can particularly think of, but I don't know if it's safe to say, but like I did kind of rehearse what I would say when I watched the video with like previous videos of yours, and like, oh, what would I say in that case and stuff like that. So yeah, at the time, like I think like, oh, what would I say in that position? So I've done a bit of that, which I shouldn't be doing, but it's
That's fine. I think that's consistent also with extroverted intuition polar, the idea that you know, that you can kind of plan out in some sense what the answers would be.
That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, so I do that quite a lot, so that probably is why then. Yeah, I don't think I have that many questions regarding that, to be honest. Like I've just been looking into like cognitive functions. I just know like as overall that and Enneagram. Yeah.
Okay. Enneagram too, huh? Do you know what Enneagram number you are?
So prior to this test, I used to think I would be an ISTP type. So that's what I used to think. I could either be ISTP or yeah, and obviously
ISTP is not a bad guess because it's the same expert intuition polar for both of them, except your TI is 8, not 1.
I see. Yeah, so back then I used to think with my friends and stuff when we discuss about they would say I am probably like an INTP or ISTP, and yeah, and Enneagram I am a 5-wing-6. I feel like Enneagram is a bit more, how do you call it? Because there's like a parental style as well that you can read about in Enneagram. I don't know which book I'm reading. Like it usually talk about like nature and nurture. And when I read about nurture in fives, it resonates a lot with me. at that time. But then again, like I've shifted my life very, very differently. So it's different, very different now. Like I feel like I've changed a lot in the past 2 years, based on circumstances. So yeah, probably. But you wouldn't say like personalities can change over time, right? It's more like you
Enneagram might change over time. I'm not sure, but I'm not really. I don't consider myself an expert on Enneagram, nor do I consider Enneagram very definitive in the way that cognitive functions are. But
Okay.
regardless, I don't think your cognitive function configuration will change over time. Although I do think that if a person suffers significant trauma, they'll tend to retreat more into an expression of self that more heavily weights the fourth slot function instead of the first.
Ah, okay. That's fair enough. Anyways,
All right. So
thank you.
are you comfortable with me publishing this, or would you like me to share it with you privately?
I think can I have you to delete it after then, if that's all right? I'm kind of
Sure.
curious, like what would others like think about it?
Oh,
Like would they
you want
guess?
me to publish it and then delete it later? That's no problem at
Yeah,
all.
all right.
So do you want to give me a date to delete it on? What date you want me to delete it? Or do you want to tell me later? Yeah, you
I'll
just
let you
email
know.
me the number.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm gonna stop recording. Thanks a lot.
No worries. Thank you very much. Have a good